So, here's the big question we're tackling today. What could your kidneys possibly have in common with planet Earth? It sounds kind of like a riddle, right? But the answer is actually incredibly direct, and it has huge implications for all of us.
And that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to connect the dots between our own personal health and the well-being of our environment. So, let's dive right in.
First things first, let's talk about the heroes of this story. We often take them for granted, but your kidneys are some of the hardest working organs in your body, true biological powerhouses.
To really get the big picture, we have to start small, right inside our own bodies. Your kidneys are so much more than just simple filters. Think of them as the conductors of a super complex orchestra that keeps your whole body in harmony.
And this is where it gets really amazing. Yeah, sure, they filter out waste, we all know that. But they also manage your blood pressure, signal your body to make more red blood cells, activate vitamin D to keep your bones strong, and they perfectly balance all those crucial electrolytes. They are absolute multitasking masters.
Okay, so now that we appreciate just how incredible our kidneys are, we need to talk about the threat they're under. It's a widespread and often totally invisible problem called chronic kidney disease.
Just let that number sink in for a second. 1 in 10 people worldwide. That is a staggering number. We're talking over 850 million people. So this isn't some rare condition. It's a massive public health issue that touches communities absolutely everywhere.
And here's the really dangerous part. Chronic kidney disease is often called a silent disease. And that's because you usually don't have any symptoms in the early stages. You could lose a huge amount of kidney function and not feel a single thing. And that is why catching it early is so incredibly important. So what's behind this whole epidemic? Well, it really boils down to two main culprits: diabetes and hypertension, which is just high blood pressure. These two conditions right here are responsible for the vast majority of kidney failure cases around the globe. Okay, so we've met the heroes, our kidneys, and the villain, the disease. But now, here comes the plot twist, the part that connects it all together. Let's explore that surprising link between our bodies and our planet. This really gets to the heart of the whole theme for World Kidney Day. It turns out our changing climate is now being seen as a new, emerging risk factor for kidney disease. This is literally where personal health and planetary health collide.
So how does that even work? Well, think about it like this. Climate change brings more extreme heat waves, right? That leads to dehydration and heat stress. It also means more pollutants and toxins in our air and our water. And all of these things, they can directly injure our kidneys. And get this, it's not a one-way street. The connection goes both ways. Traditional treatments for kidney failure, like dialysis, actually have a huge environmental footprint. They use enormous amounts of water and energy. This is what's driving this big global push for more sustainable green dialysis options, linking kidney care right back to caring for the planet.
All right, we've talked a lot about the problem. Let's switch gears and focus on the solution. Because the good news is, protecting your kidneys can be surprisingly straightforward, and it all starts with early detection. And believe it or not, it all comes down to this one simple number: 2. That's it. Just 2 routine tests are all it takes to check up on your kidney health and catch any issues long before they become serious. So what are these 2 magic tests? The first is a simple blood test that measures something called your eGFR. It basically tells you how well your kidneys are doing their filtering job. The second is a urine test called the ACR, which just looks for a specific protein. If that protein is there, it can be one of the earliest warning signs of kidney damage. Simple, effective, and potentially life-saving. Which brings us to our final and honestly most empowering section. Because while detection is absolutely key, prevention, well, that's where the real power lies.
And this is the stuff you can actually do starting today. Controlling your blood pressure and blood sugar is number 1, especially if you have hypertension or diabetes. Then there's cutting back on salt, making sure you're drinking enough water, and avoiding toxins, like overusing certain pain medications. These are all powerful ways to protect your kidneys for the long run.
This quote really just says it all perfectly. The key is to be proactive. You want to detect problems early, prevent the disease from starting, and get treatment long before something like dialysis is your only option.
And so we end up right back where we started, but hopefully with a whole new perspective. Now that we can see this undeniable link, the little things we do for our own health can also be a huge benefit to our planet's health, and the other way around. So really think about it. How will you protect your 2 kidneys and our one planet?